I've been playing World of Warships for 3.5 years now. And time for some confessions. For most of those 3.5 years, I have played co-op and scenarios and very little player versus player, with the exception of the 3 versus 3 Brawl. I really enjoyed that. The main reason I don't play against other players usually is, one, I'm old and stupid. Two, I have a really crappy internet connection. And if you look at some of the replays I've got playing in the background, you can see my ping averages over 300, which is really truly atrocious. And third reason, I was in a horrible motorcycle wreck almost 3 years ago, fairly shortly into my World of Warships career, and for almost 9 months I couldn't even set it to computer. Even after that, my right arm is severely limited in mobility and dexterity. I'm very glad to still have it, but it don't work all that good. But the biggest reason I have neglected and avoided playing random and some of these other things is one of my very first games in random actually ended up as a little side note in someone's YouTube video about they were reviewing a certain ship. Now, I wasn't the star mention of this video. There was plenty of other people in it, but my role in this was basically the guy said, "Oh, look, watch this guy here do the stupidest thing I've ever seen anyone do in this game." And, he was right, but it was really early in my career. I had no idea what I was doing, and yeah, it probably was the stupidest thing anybody's ever done. But a couple days after that, I saw the video, and then I realized, oh, he was talking about me, and it hurt me. Probably shouldn't have, it's just the internet, but it still hurt my feelings, and so I didn't really want to be subjected to that ridicule. I'm good enough at ridiculing myself, making fun of myself. But last weekend I discovered 1 versus 1 Brawl, which for somebody who's played a huge amount of co-op games, hey, it's pretty similar. You rush full speed at your enemy and try to take him down quick as you can. I thought this sounded like fun. Now in the Tier 9, I had several choices, but not really very many. And mainly because most of the Tier 9 ships I've recycled to equip the new Tier 10 I just finished grinding. And there was a lot of Tier 9s that I just couldn't stand. The Rune, for instance. Some people may love that, but I hated it for some reason. Just never could get a good game in it. It was a painful grind, and I was awfully glad to finally get my Hindenburg. So, for Tier 9, I chose the Georgia. Couple reasons. She's fast, incredibly fast, matter of fact, for a battleship. Pretty good secondaries, killer main guns. Just all in all, kind of a fun, kind of goofy kind of ship to play. I figured I might be able to surprise some people with it. So I was able to build the secondaries out to, I think altogether, 11.3. I changed that around a little bit started out at 9.9. I got it out to 11.3 with a flag and a module, and I have a lot of fun with it. Altogether, I played, I think, 46 matches. I won 23, and I lost 23. So, altogether, for one of my first ventures out into the world of player versus player, I thought I did pretty good. So this weekend, or the other day, whatever it was, when they started the Tier 10, I have an even smaller assortment of ships to play, because I recently reset a couple of lines, and like an idiot. So I chose my Hindenburg. Possibly my favorite ship to play. I know she's got her faults. I know she's A lot of people hate her, but it's what I had to choose. And I've had a blast with it. An utter blast. Um, you know, great main guns, pretty decent secondaries, acceptably good torpedoes, hydro, fairly fast, fairly tough. I thought, why not? I give her a try. It was that or my Des Moines or my Worcester or Worcester or however that's pronounced. I also had a Zao and a Gearing of all things, but the Gearing was one of those loner ones. I haven't grinded my way through the American line far enough to get the real one yet. Oh, and the Yamato. So I chose the Hindenburg, the Durpenberg, whatever you want to call it. And out of my first 14 games that you see running in the background, well, I'll let you, if you watch to the end, you can see how many I won and how many I lost. Several of these ones that I did lose, had I not been stupid, I probably would have won a few more. Like forgetting to switch to high explosive on destroyers and a couple other dumb things I did, but I've had a blast with this and it's been great fun. It's also helped me get a little bit of confidence in my gameplay, and sure enough, there's people out here that are way worse and way dumber than I am. Like this Zao in the background. I think he just gave up once he realized that I was ahead on the damage exchange. It was like he was just giving up. And I noticed that in a lot of people last weekend too with the Georgia. Once you made it past the initial rush, if you were ahead of them in the damage exchange, they just seemed to just give up. Where to me, I'll probably fight to the end, but then I'm just stupid like that. Alright, here's my first encounter with the Schlieffen. And I had, just before we started playing this mode, I had watched somebody's video, Mountbatten or Potato Quality or one of those, about the best ships to play in this mode, and the Schlieffen was their absolute number one pick. So I was a little bit worried when I came across this guy, but I would say he probably wasn't the best Schlieffen player out there. There's probably people that are 10 times better than him. Matter of fact, I run across another Schlieffen later on in this series of videos, and you'll see the difference. I did right away. But the Hindenburg got good guns. She's got fairly quick reload, and this is a reload build on this one. I didn't see any sense in a ranged build when I was playing co-op with her. Alright, here's me against the Yu Yang, and as previously mentioned, this is one of them ones where my butt was puckered. I know this guy's supposed to be fairly terrifying, and I forgot to switch to high explosive. Normally, with the Hindenburg and with the Georgia, my initial salvos, I had the main gun set on high explosive. Because I figured if I could get a fire or two started before secondary started doing their work, it would just make my job easier. And for the most part, it seemed to be a pretty good strategy. I should have had him. If I'd been on high explosive, I would have had him probably 3 times before he gets this little depth strike on me at the end here. Should have had him. Terrible aim, and like I said right there, should have had him several times. Yeah, he should have been dead several times if I'd had the right ammo selected. And this one versus the Shimakaze. This is another one I feel like I should have won if I played a little smarter. He's not sure if he really wants to come out from around that behind that island. I'm not sure what he was expecting there. He wants to put some torpedoes into my hide, and he'll eventually get to. Now, at this point, the smartest thing I could have done would have been to back into the A cap and start getting some points. That he'd be unable to sneak across there and without coming into harm's way. He's got him in a wonderful spot. He's kind of dug in like a tick. I can't touch him. Wasn't really sure what best way to go about this. I thought that was halfway smart, but now I'm here, he's here. He must really have kicked in the boost. I was expecting to come around, but just not quite this quick. Should have kept the torps on, or outcome probably would have been a good bit different. And then I missed that shot. Once again, I still have AP loaded instead of HE, so I deserve this. And that does it. Killed by stupidity. I've heard several people say it's not who plays the best, it's who makes the least amount of mistakes. And that seems to be very true. I don't think it matters sometimes even what ship you're in. You don't have to be in the best ship per tier to do good. Just make the fewest amount of mistakes. So I really like this 1 versus 1 format. You really only have to deal with one asshole. You don't have to worry about the carrier planes or the submarine or the destroyer that's sneaking around the island to hit you with a full broadside of torpedoes while you're trying to shoot the carrier, or just 1-on-1 like gladiators. Mano y mano. This is, the simplest. To me, as good as it gets. But because of the little bit of confidence I picked up, I've actually started playing ranked and enjoying that. Not doing as good with ranked as I am with this, but here's the second encounter with the sleeping, and once again, I probably should have had him. I made several mistakes here. Matter of fact, I'm trying to, at this point, figure out what the heck to do. So I take the obvious shot here with the torps. Oh no, I don't. Okay, wrong match. He's got me pretty good already. His secondary is eating me up. Two fires. It's about over with. If this had been a regular random game, I definitely would have got him too, but one of those posthumous torpedo strikes, but Clibert. I was a little bit worried about this, but notice I finally have high explosive selected. I get the first shot off. I know he's going to hit me. I pooched the torpedo shot. 2 floods. Damage control. Try to maintain my composure. Don't give up. But, once again, AP for some reason. My explosive, he'd have been dead already. So close. I got him. Pure dumb luck. I'm reminded of something about a blind pig and an acorn there. Alright, Salem. He's a premium version of the Des Moines. Since I caught him in fairly open water, at fairly decent range, I kind of felt from the beginning I would probably win this one. He's shown a tad bit too much broadside to be healthy. As the range decreases and the angle changes a little bit, he's going to be in trouble. My first Citadel. He's knocked my torps out, but that's fine. I'm not going to need them. Pretty good aim, right in the sweet spot. 3 Citadels. 2 more. He's got me burning pretty good. And he's gone. Now this one, I was a tad bit worried about, but that's a whole lot of ship. I had fun with this one though. See, he's knocked out one of my turrets, or disabled it anyway. I decided to go for the YOLO here. Oh, that hurt. Torpedoes away. Of course, anybody in the world knew I was going to shoot torpedoes around that island. Would have been nice if they'd connected, but I wasn't counting on it. He's probably giggling a little bit at this point. So rather than playing chasey chase, I try to get turned around to get the port side torpedoes in action. He's committed now. He can't really avoid this at all. And I want to get some pretty good hits here. Try aiming for the top of the belt. Thinking that's probably the best spot to shoot him. And bye-bye, Montana. Ah, the Moskva. This was not what I expected. And I showed too much broadside trying to get those stupid torpedoes off, which was not necessary. He's got 2 permafires on him right now, because he stupidly damage controlled the very first one I set on him with the opening salvo. Properly have armor piercing selected. He's hurt. He's pretty much doomed at this point. That was quick and easy. And there